So Apple's iOS 27 public beta is out. And here's the thing most people assume. Betas are for the newest iPhones. They're not. This one runs all the way back to the iPhone 11. So I grabbed my iPhone 12, a phone that's now a few generations old, put the beta on it, and used it for a few days to find out what actually changes on hardware this age. iOS 27 supports every iPhone that could run iOS 26. That's iPhone 11 and newer, including every iPhone 12 model, the base 12, Mini, Pro, and Pro Max. So compatibility isn't a question here. The question is whether a 5-year-old phone can actually make good use of it, or whether you're just adding weight to hardware that's already working hard. That's what I wanted to find out. I used a secondary iPhone 12 for this, not my daily driver, and that matters, because how you approach this really depends on which one you are doing it on. More on that in a second. If you're thinking about trying this, a few honest notes first, because beta software is still by definition unfinished. Back your phone up to a computer before you install anything, not just iCloud. A computer backup gives you a real way back. And think about which phone you're putting this on. If it's your only iPhone, the one with your banking apps, your two-factor codes, your work email, I'd wait for the fall release. Beta software can mean app crashes, occasional slowdowns, and a banking app that just doesn't like the new OS yet. If you got a secondary phone or an old one sitting in a drawer like I do, that's exactly what this is for. And that's the phone I used. So what did Apple actually change this time? Unlike last year's release, which was a big visual overhaul, iOS 27 leans more into the performance and refinement. A few things stood out. First, there's a new opacity control for the interface. You can dial back and how see-through the glass look is, which sounds small, but on older screen it generally helps with readability. Second, faster app launch behavior across the system, tied to better preloading. And there's a handful of lock screen tweaks. Nothing huge, but a nice set of small conveniences. Then there's the headline feature. The new Siri, rebuilt to hold an actual conversation, search across all of your apps and take action for you. It's the thing most of the coverage is about. And here's the part that matters for anyone watching on an older iPhone. None of that is coming to iPhone 12. That feature needs a newer chip Apple's using for its on-device AI. So if that's the reason you're curious about this beta, this isn't the phone for you. What you are getting on iPhone 12 is the performance layer and the general polish, without the AI heavy stuff running in the background, which honestly might actually work in an older phone's favor. This is the part I actually cared about. Apple claims older phones got some of the biggest responsiveness gains, since there is no heavy AI processing competing for resources. So I tested it the boring way. Used the phone normally, timed common things, and paid attention to how it felt after the initial setup dust settles. And I found a few things. App launches did feel snappier. Messages, camera, Safari, all opened noticeably quicker than they did on the previous version. That tracks with what Apple is claiming. But right after installing, don't judge it yet. The phone spends the first several hours re-indexing photos, search, background data, and it runs a little warm and a little sluggish during that window. Leave it on Wi-Fi and power overnight, restart it once in the morning, then use it like normal for a full day, and that's when you get an honest read. Battery is the real variable to watch. Early beta builds had some rough battery reports across the board. People seeing phones lose a lot of charge overnight just sitting idle. Later beta updates have been more stable for a lot of users, but if your iPhone 12's battery health is already sitting in the 80s, you've got less room to absorb any inefficiencies. That's not really an iOS 27 problem specifically, it's just physics on a phone that's a few years into its battery life. Keep an eye on it. Go into Settings, Battery, and Battery Health during the first few days. Day to day, honestly, it felt close to iOS 26 with a bit more polish and a little more speed. Nothing about the core experience changed dramatically, which for a beta on an older phone is actually a good sign. You want stability. You want not a phone that feels like a different device every time you pick it up. The thing worth flagging is this is still beta software. So expect the occasional app that hasn't caught up yet, a login screen that stutters, a notification that shows up late. I experienced nothing that made the phone unusable, but enough that I wouldn't put this on a phone that you rely on for anything time sensitive. So should you install this on your iPhone? Here's where I land. If this is a secondary phone or an older iPhone 12 you're not using daily, it's honestly a solid way to get a preview of where iOS is headed. And you might generally notice your phone feeling a little bit quicker in the process. Just back it up first. Give it a full day before judging it, and keep an eye on battery health. If this is your only phone, the one you actually need to work tomorrow, hold off. Let the beta cycle finish first. Let developers catch their apps up and grab the stable release this fall. You'll get the same performance gains with none of the beta risks. So that's iOS 27 public beta on iPhone 12. No AI Siri, but a noticeable, snappier phone once it settles in. And honestly, one of the most low drama betas I've put on an older device in a while. If you've got an old iPhone sitting in a drawer, this is a good excuse to dig it out and give it a second life instead of buying something new. Let me know in the comments, what generation of iPhone are you still holding on to, and have you tried the beta on it? If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you're new here, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.